It's a Montgomery Ward 32cc featherweight. Montgomery Ward didn't actually build chainsaws. This is actually a Remington Mighty Mite. It's got to be old. I don't know how old it is. It was old and crappy 25 years ago. Doesn't really have any of the modern features. There's no chain brake. There's no vibration isolation. It's well balanced. I think it's cool that it still runs after all this time, but I'm glad I don't have to run it every day. This was my first gasoline chainsaw. My dad got it for me at a yard sale when I was about 12 years old. This is my first Husqvarna chainsaw. I've had it for 22 years. It's a lot better than that Ward saw. It has a chain brake. It has rubber vibration isolation. A lot more power. Being that this saw is so old, this is back before Husqvarna sold saws at the big box store. So this saw has been excellent. The only major repair I've done to it, I dropped a tree on it once and destroyed this top handle. And I replaced the rubber in the handles, in the frame. That's been about it. Put a new carburetor on it just a couple weeks ago. I had let it sit for too long and the carburetor got eaten up by the gasoline. Well, that's pretty minor for 22 years of service. I just got this 550 XP with auto tune. It replaced a 340, which I can't say was a junk saw, but it wasn't anything spectacular. Lately, the saws that have come from, or models that they sell at a big box store, have just not been very good saws. So, XP, this is their professional line. So far, a very impressive saw. I've only got two tanks of gas through it, so long term I don't know yet, but starting out very nicely balanced. It's nice and light, lots of power. It's got a directions on how to start it when it's hot. It's slightly different than a carbureted saw because it's auto tune. It's my 372. I've had this saw probably for 10 or 12 years. It's been a fantastic saw. The only thing I've done to it is just the carburetor. Now I've got a 36-inch bar on it. Husqvarna recommends a 28-inch bar with this saw. I haven't had any trouble running the big bar. I don't know what you're risking. Maybe you're risking your clutch. You know, a 394 would probably run a 36-inch bar better. But this one does pretty good. And it's a lot lighter than a 394. Okay, so why Husqvarna? That was a really good saw. It kind of gave me a good first impression for the brand. The three saws I bought after that saw, besides the 372 XP, pretty much any saw besides this one that I've purchased that wasn't in the XP or in the professional line, really haven't been very good saws. So I feel that has a lot to do with meeting a price point for the big box store. I'm sure you're going to have that same issue with steel saws. I'm sure there's some models that are duds, just like there's some models that are duds with Husqvarna. But these saws have been very good, and there's a very good dealer close by, and that's also part of it. You know, you're kind of buying the dealer if you have a problem when you buy the saw. So I know that you can get parts and such on the internet these days, but it's something to think about when you're deciding what saw to buy. I don't recommend buying a homeowner style saw from anybody. I mean, a chainsaw shouldn't cost $250. There's a big difference between a $250 saw and a $500 saw. I'd rather buy one once and keep it for a long time.